Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'm reviewing The Boy 2. Now, The Boy 1 was a fine movie. It came out, I feel like it didn't have a huge following, a big clamoring for a sequel, yet we got the sequel that I don't know if a ton of people were asking for. I personally wasn't asking for it, but I like checking out these January, February horror films because they can be really, really bad, but sometimes it's bad in a good way. Sometimes it's enjoyable. Sometimes you get a few surprises. You get some genuinely good movies that come out this time of year. But this doesn't really fall on that spectrum. Try to be positive about movies. I don't like bashing a movie. It's way too easy to get on and just say, oh, it's trash, it's horrible, the acting's horrible, everything about it's horrible, the plot, everything. And I have to say, this movie doesn't have a lot of positive attributes to it, but it's not offensively horrible. I'd say it's a little boring. It doesn't have the greatest scares in the world. It doesn't have a ton of interesting ideas going on, and the few ideas that it seems to build up in the beginning that you thought might flesh out never really go anywhere. But the doll is creepy. Obviously, that's the point that they kind of emphasize with this franchise at this point, is having a creepy doll doing creepy things and that weird relationship between children and toys and things like that. So it doesn't do anything that's much worse than the original film, but it doesn't do anything to merit even really being made, honestly. Now, I'm sure some fans of the original one that really wanted to see a second one, and if you love the first one, you'll probably enjoy this one. Like I said, it doesn't really elevate the story anymore. It doesn't take it anywhere. It doesn't push it to be like, oh, thank goodness they made this one. It's really going to revive it and make this huge franchise out of this character. But it's not horrible. There's really not a lot I can say about the movie. Like I said, the plot is pretty basic, doesn't really go anywhere. These jump scares, it's mostly jump scares with movies like this. It's not really well thought out, very intricate storytelling, very tense, creepy atmosphere. It has those elements, as most horror movies do. It's just an average horror film. It's something that a little bigger budget than something you would see the straight to DVD. It's a little better than something you might see on the Sci-Fi Channel or something. But it's nothing that is something you need to rush out and see right away. Like I said, if you're a fan of the first film, I think you'll enjoy this one. But if you didn't like the first one, you definitely won't like this one. And I don't know if it's bringing any new people into the fold for this character in this franchise. So all that being said, honestly, I have to give The Boy 2 a 2.5 out of 10. It's so hard because there really is nothing horrible about it, but there's nothing I can say that pushes it to a higher level. Like I said, the storytelling is okay. The character itself's creepy, but really doesn't add a whole lot to the story. The atmosphere's fine, not really any interesting cinematography, because sometimes horror films can have some phenomenal cinematography, which I feel like people don't talk about enough. Like Gretel and Hansel that came out, amazing cinematography. Maybe not the best movie in the world, but it had something to elevate it to a different level and set it apart from your typical January, February horror films. So, I don't know. At the end of the day, just a super average, below average movie that if you're a fan of the franchise, you might enjoy, but otherwise, you might want to skip this one. Alright guys, so let me know how you felt about The Boy 2. I know it's a pretty vague general review, but there's not a lot to say about it. But if there's something that you feel really passionate about this movie, or you really disliked it, or maybe you really enjoyed it, I always find it interesting to see people that take a movie that's usually universally panned. This seems like this is getting universally panned by most critics and audiences, to see if there's that gem in there that someone found interesting and tries to relay that passion that they got from it. So comment that down below. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you next time.